really appreciated about the whole story is that it is a musical, so you might expect it to be kind of cheesy, but it's very dark in a way. So I was wondering, when you guys are playing these same characters night after night, going through, you know, their triumphs and then their major downfalls, do you have to separate yourself from the character to an extent just to stay sane?
We're all in massive therapy.
Yeah.
I use the F word a little more than I
Right,
probably
that's
would
true,
naturally when I'm playing Frankie Valli. Just like, it's like one time I did like a binge watch of The Sopranos, and I was dreaming, and like there was so much profanity in my dreams. Yeah, I think that, and I think
Dreaming
that
in profanity?
Yeah.
I think that part of a character you play sticks with you a little bit in your real life. So you might answer
Absolutely.
someone in a Jersey accent by accident, right?
Right.
In your civilian life. That happened to you?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. And I mean, we toured with the show as well, too. So we were kind of living an existence outside of the stage that we were sort of telling every night on stage as well. So it's funny how art sort of imitates life in that particular sense. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing. You do sort of have to, you know, once the curtain goes down at the end of the night, sort of say goodbye. But also Jersey Boys ends on such a high note that it's kind of hard to take that, you know, darkness with you.
I noticed an interesting thing because both Michael and I did the tour of Jersey Boys. I opened it and he closed it. Funny enough, we both opened and closed it right here in San Francisco at the Current Theater. And it was my first ever experience of walking out the stage door after the show and seeing the fans. And it was the first time I'd ever experienced that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And what I realized was they weren't fans of me. They were fans all over again of the group. They felt as though they were seeing Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons for the first time, and you sort of had to remind yourself, oh, they're not fans of us. They're fans of what we just projected ourselves to be.
And the show.
In the show, right. So there is a weird psychological thing that goes on there that you have to, because you can sort of believe your own hype. So you have to remind yourself, I am playing this role for a minute. We've all done other jobs, and we all will go do other jobs.
But now we're playing the roles much more for a minute, but for like posterity.
Right, exactly.
In a Clint Eastwood movie. So this is a really exciting time for us. So our first major feature film, and Clint Eastwood's, you know, very apparent from the first frame that it's a Clint Eastwood movie, and I think people are going to have a whole new experience of Jersey Boys with this movie.
And how did working with Clint Eastwood help you interpret the characters differently?
I think there's a breadth that he brings to his set. He's such an easy, disarming person that it was really cool to sort of, as you said before, kind of dive in and get a little bit deeper with these roles to a certain extent, because you're able to really focus in on a specific moment and really work literally from every angle that particular moment. So for me, I found it really enlightening and kind of liberating, because on stage you're running into the wings to go to a costume change, and so you are literally out of breath in some cases. But there was a real sort of ability to breathe on set and really explore this, you know, in a totally different way, which is great, because we've all performed this, you know, over 1,000 times each. So to see the same material in a totally different set of eyes was wild.
We sat with Clint Eastwood, you know, during this press tour, and one of the things he said, which was he was very interested in the idea in this Italian-American segment of society at this period of someone holding a grudge forever. These are very dramatic men, and Clint has a reputation for really getting into the drama between characters, and especially that weird sort of tumultuous male bonding. Clint brought that interest of his own personal interest to that side of the story, and you find that that kind of darkness comes out much more to the forefront in this version of Jersey Boys than it does in the stage version.